Hey guys, what's up? Vi here with Food Fight VFX, and I'm bringing you another exciting tutorial. Today I'm creating augmented wounds onto our actor's face using some planar tracking tool called Mocha Pro, as well as Adobe After Effects. And if you don't have Mocha Pro, you can get a free trial, 30-day trial on their website. So head over to their website, type in Mocha Pro on the Google search engine, you'll find it, download the software, install it, and activate your 30-day trial, and you'll be able to follow along with this tutorial. Now, right off the bat, you're going to see our actor here with this pretty nasty wound on his face. Here's the original. And then, of course, we've got a bruise, some abrasions, and then finally some cuts that we've added to his face. And these all track in perfectly. Even when he squints his eye, you're going to see that wound underneath his eye squints closed as well. So this is some pretty cool stuff that we're going to be teaching you guys how to do today. So stay tuned and let's get started. So I've created a new composition with our footage, and I don't want to deal with a scope here crossing in front of our tracking area. So we're going to go ahead and stop it right around the second mark. Alt-N to cut the footage to that length. The N key to go ahead and trim the comp down. We'll right-click and trim the comp to the work area. And then we'll pre-compose the footage. We'll call it BG Plate. Make sure to move all attributes and to adjust the composition duration to the time span of the selected layers. And click OK. The next thing we want to do is find a frame in which to start our track. We're going to start right at the 3-second mark right here. We'll create a marker by hitting the multiplication key, and then we'll go to Effect, Force FX Mocha, Mocha Pro, and then we'll launch Mocha. Now, once inside Mocha, we're going to go ahead and choose our X-Spline tool, and we're just going to draw a shape around the actor's eye, and down the sides of his cheek, up and over his mustache, and then onto his nose. So we've got a nice little shape right there. This is typically what you would get out of Mocha AE, the free version of Mocha for After Effects, where we can draw a shape around a flat surface, in this case the cheek of his face, and then have it track the perspective of that. But with Mocha Pro, there is a mesh option that we can select, and when we do that, you're going to see it creates a mesh or a subplane field where it takes that planar shape that we drew and it chops it into smaller triangular planes. And so now it's going to track what's inside of each subplanes, and we can take that warp data and apply it to any wounds that we add to his face. So we're going to go ahead and come onto the generation mode. We'll go from automatic to uniform. And when I click generate mesh, you're going to see it gives us a uniform mesh now over his face where all the subplanes are the same exact size shape. We'll choose adaptive contrast since we're not dealing with a really high contrast area. And the mesh size, we can increase or decrease. If I increase it, you're going to see the subplanes get larger. If I decrease it, they're going to get much smaller, where I have to zoom in and to see all the different subplanes. Bear in mind that the smaller you set that value to, the longer it's going to take for the track to go. So we're going to set it to about 24, and we're going to go ahead and increase the minimum pixels used, say somewhere around 80, and we'll click track forward. Okay, so it's tracked forward, and if we zoom back and forth with the playhead on the timeline, you're going to see that those mesh warps or those subplanes are all tracking and shaping real nicely the three-dimensional shape of his face as he squints his eyes and things like that. So now that we tracked forwards, we'll go back to that moment in time and we'll track backwards. Okay, so it is tracked all the way back to the beginning of the shot. So now we have a full track. The next thing that we need to do is click on the Show Subsurface Planar tool, the Planar Surface tool, which you'll see creates a blue box. We can expand that to the edges of our footage since we're going to be working with wound footage that's the same exact dimensions as our original plate here. Next, we'll go down to our Stabilize tab here at the bottom of our Pro effect, and you're going to see that it's shifted our footage off to the right. What we need to do is add this as our frame list frame, and that's going to recenter everything back up. We'll choose Mesh Warp under the Warp mapping, choose High Quality for the draft quality, and make sure Unwarp is selected. And then we'll go ahead and close Mocha and save. Now comes the fun part. We can import different assets. I've got this bruise asset that we'll import and drop over our actor's face. We'll scale it up. I'll set the blending mode to multiply, and you can kind of see how this wound would be applied to his face. It gives us a real nice keying of that white area. Now you can use PNG images you find online that already have transparent backgrounds. You can play around with blending modes to get the look just the way that you want it. So we applied that to his face, but you can see it doesn't track. And so that's a problem. So what we need to do is click on our background plate, go to the Effects Controls panel, click on the Mocha Pro effect, and we're going to copy it. So it's going to copy all of our warp data and allow us to apply it to our image. So we'll take our image here, we'll right-click and we'll pre-compose it. This is going to, we'll call it bruise. What this does is it puts it inside of composition that's the same length and width as our original footage. We'll make sure that we choose multiply. And as you see here by the Boundary boxes, this is the same width and height as our original footage. We'll paste that Mocha effect into the effects controls for the bruise layer. And under module renders, we'll choose stabilize warp, we'll choose high quality, and we'll click on the render tab and take a look at what happens. Now that wound tracks to our actor's face. Later on, when he squints his face, you're going to see here that bruise fits with it. So we've got a real nice track there for this bruise. And so what we do essentially to complete this effect is we just continuously, I'll import another image. We're just going to continuously keep adding and adding different wound assets to the actor's face. So somewhere on my desktop here, I've got this one right here. We can click and drag that over our actor's face. We can go ahead and cut it out. Hit the F key to other the edges. We can apply an effect called Luma key. Choose to key out the brighter areas of the footage. Set the blending mode to multiply. Feather the edges a little bit. Rotate scale. And place that precisely where we want. Right here, it looks like a good spot. What we need to do is right-click, pre-compose that effect. So we'll pre-compose it. We'll rename this Scabs. Set the blending mode to multiply. And then we'll take the Bruise Layers Mocha Pro and we'll paste it onto the Scabs layer Mocha Pro. And you're going to see here that it automatically tracks as well. So all you do essentially is you just bring in assets, you choose a blending mode that works, you key out any background that you need to, maybe even want to lower the opacity by hitting the T key, we can lower the opacity of that scab a little bit, and then we can go ahead, we can add a cut, we can keep building and building onto this with as many layers as you want. In the original, I even added some veins, which I'll turn on here for just a moment. You can see that there's some veins in the skin and things like that we added in. I have those shut off for the time being. But if you just keep following those steps, bringing in the new image, pre-composing it, pasting on the Mocha Pro effect, you'll get a really cool effect just like this. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Again, my name is Levi, Food Fight VFX. If you liked the video, please subscribe to our channel, hit the bell notification button to get notifications whenever we do put out a new tutorial. Like, share, and comment on the videos. If you have any questions, please leave a comment or send me a message, and I'll do my very best to respond to those as quickly as possible. Once again, this is Levi with Food Fight VFX, and we'll see you next time.